Well, hello and welcome to Softball SA Premier League action for the first time in 2021. First round back, breast cancer awareness round, so you'll see a lot of pink in and around the diamond. James Harris here with Softball SA Life member Lee Hull right here on Spacequake Sports. Welcome back, Lee.
Thank you, James, and it's a cracker of a day, isn't it? Sunny, cool temperature, not too hot. Looking forward to this game. Very important day, the pink day.
West Torrens versus Seacombe to get things underway in season, or the back half of season 2021. And we have Jordan Harris leading off for the Eagles, Jade Peterson pitching, and good calling from catcher Jez Maslin to get that one out of the zone, up and out, and caught the batter swinging, keen to get the year off onto a good note, and you can see her taking a deep breath there with a 1-1 count.
These three players, the pitcher, catcher and batter, are all played against each other for many years.
That one's in there for a called strike from a new face, Lee, that we'll see around hopefully a little bit more.
Good umpire Brett Tyler. He's plating on first base. It's the treble Hoff Neville Lawrence. And at third base, it's Steve Wallace-Yarrow.
State umpire in chief, and a great start to the season for Jade Peterson, a strikeout to get things underway. These two teams have met 3 times already in the season. Seacombe won the first game of the year. They in a high-scoring game, 9 runs to 5. But in the next 2 games that these two teams have played, West Torrens defeated Seacombe 2-0 and then 10-0 the last time they met.
Yep. Well, as I've said before many times, the no discredit to Taylor Mead, but done a fantastic job when she's been called on. But a picture of Steph Tracinsky's quality, it's going to be hard to score runs.
Lana Kayser is the hitter for the Eagles. She fouls that one off to go to a 1-1 count. We were just looking at a couple of stats before Lee, having a chat, and Lana was on fire the second part of the first half of the season with 9 hits from her last 10 or 9 games it was.
Yeah, it was interesting the first part of the season. Not a lot of the West Torrens big guns batters wise were
contributing.
Yeah,
they started out 0-4, and then the next 9 games, 7 wins, 2 losses.
I think the penny just dropped or something happened. I'll just go around the rest of the field for the Seacombe if you like. Araha Munro's at first, Sophie Kinnear at second, Becky Havers third, Sasha Mitzi at shortstop, left field Jenny Dunn, centre field Sasha Penglaze, right field Jade Graham.
She's on paper, they actually look really good, don't they? They've got a good experienced lineup, some great young juniors. Kayser fouls this one up. It's in fair territory and probably just out of reach.
Yep. Yes, they've got a mix there, and David Gourley, a very experienced coach, knows his stuff, as we all know. Not dressing a lot of pink today, I might add. I did mention that to him, but that's fair enough. He's going to get the best out of them for sure.
Peterson ahead here, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and Kayser's having quite a long at bat. Probably had about 5 or 6 pitches already, and 6 pitches already and only 1 ball.
Yeah, and Jade looks like she's got a bit of pace on today. It's seems to be she's probably fresh. She played on the weekend, didn't she, for Mount Gambier?
Well, she won the pitcher in the Team of the Year as Kayser gets under this one out to left field, and Jenny Dunn must have just lost that right at the last moment. It's tipped her glove, it's hit her thigh, and it's rolled into play. So a drop fly ball, a missed opportunity for the Tigers. Kayser aboard on first.
Yeah, Jenny was coming into the Raider Knights, but it sort of dropped on her, and like you say, she may have just misjudged at the end, hit her on the knees and dribbled back to the infield.
Faith Pickard for the Eagles, batting 3. Watches that one through for a called strike, and that's Peterson's MO, isn't it? Let's get on top early and then make the batters chase.
Yeah, and I think this batter, Pickard, is a very consistent player. I think you could play her anywhere in the lineup, in the batting. There's a hit and run.
The play from Havers, but exceptional base running from Kayser to take 2 bases. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. She was jammed inside and a slow roller, but Havis was down for the sack bunt.
Yep.
Same result, probably, for what would have been if it was a bunt.
Look at the speed of Lana Kaisler.
Called strike right at the top of the zone.
Found a nice spot in the field here, Cara Schultz, hadn't she, for the Eagles? Come over from Seacombe, of course.
Well, it doesn't get all of it, and it will be a comfortable catch taken out at centre field by Sasha Penglace. So pretty good first up inning for the Tigers, just that one blemish. The West Torrens Eagles very aggressive in the batter's box.
Yeah, certainly, and a very good start, as you mentioned. We'll see what they can do with the stick now, otherwise known as the bat.
Yeah, Lee, you just quickly mentioned Jade played during the Senior State Championships. It was the 65th State Championships here over last weekend. Hot conditions, but we played under hot weather guidelines, and that was exceptionally responded by not only the tournament committee, wet bulb readings, breaks between games, etc., but the teams as well. They knew that they needed to get in and out of the shade, and they rested well. They kept up their fluids. But let's go back to Jade Peterson, named in the Team of the Year by her peers, and named as first pitcher in pretty good company as well. Chantel Lewis, who had an outstanding final day. Chantel Humphreys, she won 2 games as a pitcher on the last day, including the final where Hills came out victors. But Jade shouldered the load for Mount Gambier as a bit of a permit player or a pickup player, and she's played for them a couple of times over the last few years as well, but pitched exceptionally well. And Georgia Hood was able to play a cameo when required, mostly at first base, and just was slamming the ball all weekend and won the Kath Sims Memorial Trophy for
Not a bad player
MVP.
Not a bad player to have as a cameo. Georgia. No, she's terrific. I'll go around the Eagles' defence here. Defending the dirt, first base Kelsey Nucky, second base Cara Schultz, at third base Solana Kaisler, and shortstop is Jordan Harris. Outfield, left to right, Mary Fuss gets out there at left field. I can't say I've seen her in the outfield before. Jackie Bills has moved over to centre, and Faith Pickard's at right. So Faith goes from left to right because obviously Alicia Marchink is working. Jackie goes from right to centre. Yeah. And the battery is Steph Tracinsky to Carly Allen.
And there's Steph Tracinsky on screen. A welcome sight for the Eagles, not so welcome by the rest of the competition because on her day she's unstoppable. Probably the finest pitching product the state has produced over the last 20 years, Lee.
Agreed, 100%.
Maybe longer.
Maybe longer, yeah. She seems to have been around forever, but what a gun she is. And that word's used loosely. It's not with this girl.
Well, speaking of guns, leading off is Jenny Dunn for the Tigers. We've been accustomed to seeing her over the last 5 or so years here on Spacequake Sports, leading things off for the Tigers, and she's actually leading the team in hits with 11 for the season, and it actually puts her in the top, 15 batters in the competition.
You know, one of the biggest attributes is that the better the pitcher is, the quality, the better she bats. That tells you something about the girl.
0-2, and she will go down swinging in a carbon copy of the West Torrens
lead off
first inning. Sasha Penglace, who took a catch at centre field, is up to bat now for the Tigers.
We might see her sister back playing shortly, a couple of weeks, I believe. Tamika had the little baby, her and her man.
Yeah, she was coaching the under 18 game at 12. Yeah.
Saw that.
Swing and a miss from Penglace. Penglace is around the same age as Tracinsky. I'm pretty sure that they were on the same team in some junior grades for state representation and maybe even at Glenelg. Steph was at Glenelg for a little while.
Yeah, I'm sure that's happened.
1-on-1 count. Seacombe have got a couple of young stars on the bench there. Jazz Blight, Ellie Georgiaris and Harper Bridley.
Great future with those girls. Harper Bridley, very promising pitcher. The times I've seen her, James, you know a bit about her. She's from Pirrie or somewhere.
Pirrie?
Yep.
Yeah, played in the state under 16 last year. Obviously no state teams in 2021 due to COVID.
Yep.
And the risk of travel, which is a shame. It's one of our favourite times of year in January when national championships are playing. We follow the teams on the play-by-plays and
it's full on, isn't it? It's just terrific softball. You love the sport. Well, January is the time, isn't it? Apart from finals. But when the state team's away, a lot of people giving up their time.
Swing and a miss for a second strikeout for Tracinsky and the West Torrens Eagles. Saw a couple of the Eagles play in the All-Star game at state championships where the state women's team play against the best from the district associations, and gee, went the stars on song that night.
And we mentioned at the time of the commentary, James, that they looked like they were ready to roll. You know, finish this game and then go on the plane. They looked in terrific shape. Which
would be a surprise knowing that most of them had 5-6 weeks off.
Yep. So they obviously kept themselves in fine condition.
Premier players in the Premier League. We are going nationally on NITV, around the world on Facebook live stream. Jess Maslin is the hitter. Fouls that one off.
Can she go 3 for 3 Ks here? Steph, what do you think, James?
Well, I wouldn't put it by her. She's always around the league leaders in strikeouts. Per game, strikeouts per game. She jams up Maslin, and Harris has to charge this one. Probably hit it a bit too hard there, Harris, as she tried to field it
I think so.
at ground level. We'll see it on the leading team's replay. Maslin right up the front of the box. And always gives it everything, Maslin, as she beats that one out. Yeah, Harris just left it behind, and the first base runner for the Tigers. Catch a speed up rule sees Penglace over to first and Araha Munro in the batter's box.
Good rule, isn't it? Catch a speed up rule. Terrific. It's a bit like the what else have we got? Plenty of other things like
tell us, Lee.
Good. Yeah, that's all right. I'll just wake up.
Yeah, keeping the game flowing.
Yeah.
1 minute, 1 minute between innings, Lee. Umpires keep pretty tight watch on timeouts as well. So, time games, it's important to keep the flow of the game going. Well, covers up and
smart running by Sasha. Then she's put her arms up, saying to Coach Gourley, "Hey, I got the signal."
Well, interesting that she covered up. I would have thought that the batter might have thought that it was a steal on. The runner didn't go anywhere, and it will be a strikeout. So a little miscommunication there for the Seacombe offense. Third strikeout for Tracinsky, but they did get a runner on. Well, at the end of the first inning, it's 0-0, and we're back for 2021, Lee.
Yeah, it's fantastic. We have what's new about the clubs? Well, the clubs, Port Adelaide, I'm looking forward to that game on Diamond 2 at 4 o'clock. We have some
Port
new
versus
coaches.
Walkerville.
Yeah, we have new coaches for Port Adelaide. So change over during the Christmas break.
We'll see Port Adelaide in action over the coming weeks here on Spacequake Sports. The other games for the day, Walkerville versus Port Adelaide, 5th versus 3rd, and Sturt versus Hills in a top-of-the-table clash. If Sturt win that one, gee, they'll be tough to catch come the pointy end of the season.
Hills will be a chance this afternoon, I would have thought. Real chance. They're playing really well. They've certainly found something from last year. I mean, the advent of Georgia Hood being here all the time is a big plus for them and for George.
Well, we are going to get back underway here in the top of the second inning. It's a 0-0 ball game between the West Torrens Eagles and the Seacombe Tigers. Steph Tracinsky is batting 5 in the lineup for the Eagles today and will lead off.
Well, we talk about this girl's prowess as a pitcher, but let me assure everybody out there in television land, this girl can hit, and hit hard often.
Yeah, she's, I've got the stats here, Lee. She's 12 hits for the season. She's in the top 8 batters in the competition, as this one's going to drop in as well for another hit for Tracinsky. That's why she's batting 5, and she's a class act, and she's got the Eagles off to the perfect start here in the second inning.
Yeah, she could hold her own in the field anywhere, in any side, and bat in the lineup.
Yeah, terrific fielder as well, as we see the state as the leading team's replay. Well done for Steph Tracinsky. Here's another look. Took an inside pitch and drove it down the line.
This is the first base, Kelsey Nucky. Consistent player, Kelsey, isn't she, in this Eagles team?
Yeah, quite dependable in the field, solid as a rock on first base, and a very handy middle order batter. You could put her anywhere from 3 to 6 in the order. She'll slot in perfectly.
Yep. And that's where you need consistency at first base, because that's where most of the plays happen.
Gets under this one, and the Eagles batters are looking to drive the ball hard or pull the ball on Peterson, which is playing into Peterson's hands. I think they need to be looking anywhere of right side of second base. And she gets a strikeout on the outside edge.
Smart pitcher, isn't she, Jade? All those years of experience are showing.
Second strikeout for Peterson. This is Mary Fuss. High pitch and big jump from first base from Steph Tracinsky. Well, the aggressive nature of the West Torrens Eagles batters, I think that's probably one of the first batters that hasn't swung first pitch.
Yep.
Good calling from Maslin. The first one was high and the next one was outside, so haven't given anything to these batters early in the count.
That's part of their strength, the Eagles, though, in their batting, is their aggressive batters, as you mentioned, James.
The breeze has been fantastic, hasn't it? We just had a little bit of a gust through.
Yeah.
Last week it was a bit of a saviour through the heat, but today it's a nice little cool sea breeze. We're less than a kilometre from the beach.
65 years, James. You've said it a few times, and it's fantastic, isn't it? That's a lot of years.
Terrific event as well. More men's teams than ever, just as a point of interest.
6? Was it 6?
It was 8.
8
9
in total.
9 men's teams,
Yep.
and there's probably a couple more out there as well. We didn't see the MFSA with a team this year. Mary Fuss will go down swinging for the second out.
Well, that's great, because it is softball and it's male and female, and it's fantastic.
Well, it just shows that there's a bit of growth in the sport as well. The ladies' teams were down a little bit, but that's okay. We'll hopefully see CDSA and Port Pirie and Sunraysia all making a comeback soon. Get the numbers back up. It was a good spread of winners as well. We saw Hills win the A-grade women. Gawler won the B-grade. Adelaide won the B-grade. Gawler won the C-grade.
Yep. Both grand finals were very interesting, weren't they? Great games to watch and to commentate on.
Yeah, close games.
Yep.
Couple of lead changes in both games as well. Great games to watch, and you can catch them on the Spacequake Sports YouTube channel or Sopless Say Facebook page. Carly Allen is the hitter. She fouls this one off. So another Eagles batter behind it in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Remember the name Monica what's Sellis, wasn't it?
The tennis player.
No, Monica Perry.
Monica Perry,
yeah,
Sturt
right.
pitcher.
Yeah, I've seen Carly Allen get a hits like that against 2 hits against Monica Perry, which they were in grand final too.
Well, a good shot, second hit of the inning, both going to left field. Catcher speed up. Carly Allen will be replaced by Fuss. And the catcher speed up. Steph Tracinsky moves across to second. So terrific for Carly. Probably trying to find her feet back in this A-grade team after a year or so off. And then she started this season off with an injury. And back into the team and in the lineup frees up Faith Picard to play across the outfield, and just that experience behind the plate. You can't buy experience.
No, it's a win-win situation for the Eagles.
Jackie Beale is the new hitter. Yeah, Carly Allen, a multiple-year Stars player as well, so she has that experience at national level. And like you mentioned, if she's getting hits against the likes of Monica Perry, then she should be able to find her feet pretty quickly back in this Sopless A Premier League. Beale fouls this one off.
Stuck with the left-handed stuff, Jackie, hasn't she? She's got really competent at this too.
She's had some very important turns at bat.
Yep.
And just before Christmas, where we saw 2 walk-off wins in the last 3 games that the Eagles played. And it came down to batters 7, 8, 9. Beale being a part of that, getting some important balls into play and advancing runners and safe hits, and then letting the top of the order come through with the game-winning shots. But you can't do it without the contribution of these batters down the bottom of the order. And,
no, that's for sure.
I think Beale is one of 6 batters batting over 300 for the Eagles. She's got 8 hits for the year, and that one's a drop third strike, but it was tidied up pretty well by Jess Maslin. 3 strikeouts and 2 hits in that inning for Jade Peterson and the Seacombe Tigers. So they've done it pretty well in the defence, haven't they? They haven't panicked when runners have been on base, and the Tigers are really sticking with the Eagles here. Now they need to do it with the bat. Yeah,
you'd think if they got 2 safe hits in the innings, the Eagles, they'd score at least 1, but they didn't. And that's full credit to the Tigers.
And 4 strikeouts
Yep.
for Peterson in the first 2 innings. Going on a pretty good rate.
Maybe the last weekend helped Jade, just
blow out the cobwebs a little bit.
Yeah, maybe just blow away the rough edges, because she seems to be quicker today to me. And
well, it's my own opinion. I think the Labor Day Carnival is the perfect lead-in for a season for any of the junior players that play. Get a dozen to 20 turns at bat in before the season proper starts. Then you've got state championships for the return for the season, and national championships for those that when the opportunity comes for a representative team. Just perfect lead-in for the return to competition. And Jade has just shown it there that she hasn't been out of place here. She won the picture for the team of the year at the state championships, and really led that Mount Gambier tilt at the championship, and she's on song here today.
Yep. Batters 5, 6, and 7 here.
Becky Havis to lead it off for Seacombe. Tracinsky deals and just low and out of the zone.
Well, when you bat against a person like Steph, you need to make up your mind very quickly. Am I leaving it? Am I going?
Well, they say about 0.4 of a second. Right, reaction time.
Yep.
That'd be for an average pitcher, so it's probably lower than that for the likes of Tracinsky.
People like Jared Farrell who we saw in action last weekend.
Yep.
And your
He
team
was,
won that grand final.
Yeah, went back to the roots of NAMSA. I played 10 years at state championships with NAMSA.
You don't look old enough for that.
Out of the 22 years that I've played.
22, long time.
At that level, of course. I played longer at nationals.
Yep.
Anyway, back to
I'm glad I brought it up.
back to the action. High for a ball. Actually, I will go back. I'll mention my NAMSA teammate, Brett Tyler's behind the plate today umpiring.
Oh, what's he like as a player?
Played in the championship winning team.
Right.
In his first South Australian State Championship and named centrefield in the team of the year.
So he can play, obviously. Doesn't look very old.
It's a lead-off walk for Becky Havis, and just goes to show that you can have a great pitcher, but she needs to throw it in the zone for her to beat you. But as the wind just blows a lot of our notes across the place there, Lee, I'll just compose myself now. We're in the elements. For those that don't know at home, a bunt attempt from Sasha Mitzi. We actually seen Sasha at the top of the order probably more often than not before Christmas, but she's down about 6.
Yeah,
second lead-off.
I think Coach Gooley is just working his players around, just seeing where they can play for future times. I saw her catching in the underage game before. I didn't realise she was a catcher.
Well, product of the Dragons program, so versatile players come out of that program. She watches that one low, but just catches the bottom of the zone for a strikeout. So a 4th strikeout for Tracinsky, first out of the bottom of the second inning. Actually, the Dragons program announced a call for coaches. It's a revamped program. Nothing wrong with the way that it was in the start, but now we're just modernising it a little bit for current times.
Yep. It's very good value. So if you have a child that, I'm speaking to the parents now or caregivers, you have a child that's interested, get in charge with the office, get in touch with the office.
Check out the websites and the Facebook pages as well for Softball SA.
For those that aren't on the...
Jade Peterson's the batter, lays down a bunt, and Tracinsky.
Perfectly executed bunt.
Sacrifice bunt for Peterson. It was a 1-3 for those scoring at home. Let's look at the leading team's replay. Peterson got around nice and early. She didn't rush anything and laid it down quite well. Perhaps had a little bit more on it than she she would have liked. I've been corrected by the absolute sensational team of statisticians that we have here at Softball SA. Life member Jill Williams.
Well, I thought maybe Sasha Mitzi would have gone bunt just to get the run in the scoring position. Becky, which she is now.
So second out.
Yep.
Havis over to second base. 2-out bunt attempt with Kinnear. It's a...
interesting.
Yeah, interesting tactic. I would say...
Surprise.
That the coach is, trying to surprise the corners who will be back with 2 out. Sophie's actually been a consistent contributor for the Tigers.
Yep.
Hasn't played every game, but she's got 6 hits in the season, which is pretty good. Low for a ball. Which is amongst the team leaders, by the way, with those 6 hits. So
that's good. She's been around a fair while, Sophie, hasn't she?
Still only young.
Yep.
Swing and a miss. So a second strikeout for the inning, a 5th for the game for Tracinsky, and the Eagles get out of that inning.
That's a couple of times she's gone to her go-to pitch, which I think is that rise today. So they need to be aware of that.
It starts in the strike zone and finishes just up and out of the zone, catching the batters swinging up at the ball. So after 2 complete innings, we've got a tied ball game. It's 0-0 here for the first game back. Breast cancer awareness round on the Premier League. Well, we are about to get underway for the top of the third inning now. So 9 batters have come to the plate for the Eagles so far, with a couple of hits to left field from Tracinsky and Carly Allen. But it has been terrific defence from the Tigers so far. Let's have a look at Harris, who gets a change-up first pitch. And it's in the dirt for a ball.
Got to be tight here, the Tigers. Real tight.
Peterson with 4 strikeouts from the first 9 batters.
Yep.
She'll be looking to keep up that rate of strikeouts. Gets a piece of this one, but straight up, and Penglis didn't really have to move for it, and then right at the last moment it just had to adjust.
Just picked her out nicely, didn't it?
Stretched up for a catch out to centre field. So better turn it back from Harris from her first appearance, and it's still 1 up and 1 down. Anna Kaiser back in the box. She had a pretty good piece to left field. It was misread right at the last moment from the left fielder, Dunn. Timeout called from Kaiser to tie up the shoelaces. Pink Round Breast Cancer Awareness Round. This is the 11th year that the Softball SA Premier League have been celebrating the cause, I guess you could say. Celebration. It's fundraising efforts as well, over $20,000 over the 10 previous years, and year number 11 is no different. All the teams wear the pink socks, where the proceeds go to the Jane McGrath Foundation. Walkerville versus Glenelg. B-grade are playing the Swinstead Cup today. We can see Seacombe in a breast cancer awareness shirt and visor to go along with the socks, and each of the teams.
It's terrific, isn't it? Terrific spectacle.
Yeah, they're donning the pink sunscreen like you've got it, the pink zinc.
Yep.
Umpires also in their pink attire. Terrific to see when you drive down West Beach Road and you see a sea of pink.
Yes.
Kaiser close to the line. Foul ball.
She knew it wasn't far off, Lana, didn't she?
Yeah, you almost want to stay and help it over the line, you know, when you try and will it in.
Blow at it.
Looked up and out to me.
Didn't to Jade. She thought that was perfect.
Takes it to a full count.
Only one person has the say over that, and that's the umpire, Brett.
Kaiser not happy with that one. A pop up to third base, and Becky Havis with the safe glove for the second out. Making quick work of it, the Seacombe defence.
Yeah, it's they've really come to play. I was waiting for Jess Maslin over call then, but I didn't hear anything from her, so that was all right. Good catch by Becky, who went across from first this year. She was playing first base a bit, and playing at third gets Araha Munro into the game at first, who's known for her pitching.
Picard grounds this to shortstop. It comes off the foot of Mitzi, and a runner aboard for the Eagles with 2 out. Well, these can be costly, can't they? When there's errors with 2 out, runners get aboard, and some of the good teams really ride their luck and make the opposition pay.
Yep.
Cara Schultz had a fly ball to centre field. Pops this one up. So Mitzi gets under this one to
good catch.
Redeem herself there a little bit. She'll breathe easily now that she can complete that inning, and a good catch taken. So a quick inning, 4 batters.
Well, they've held tough, haven't they? I said at the start of this innings, this half innings, that they've got to be tight here. They were. Well done. Close game's a great game. It's a great game to be part of, isn't it? Like we saw with the state championships. 2 close finals. Real good games to watch.
What I liked about it was that they weren't like 1-0 games. They were...
Action.
6-4 I think was the men's final. But even the women's preliminary final, which wasn't broadcast, that was still a great game as well. It was a 2-1, I think, was it? 2-1 and went into a tiebreaker.
Scott Humphreys had a good day, didn't he? He was
had a great day. He coached the Heels to the women's state title, and then he pitched NAMSA to the men's title, and also Team of the Year honours. He'll be better for it. The run for the Hills Heat, who's currently sitting in second place. 1 run ahead of Port Adelaide on runs against. They're both on 6 wins, 5 losses, 2 draws, 14 points. 48 runs against for Hills Heat, 49 runs against for the Port Magpies. And, gee, won't it be a massive game when they face off when the season resumes? I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, Port versus Hills Wednesday night.
Oh, yeah.
The other game will be West Torrens Walkerville, and the live stream game will be Sturt versus Seacombe. Our good friend Mark Cramp will join us on commentary on Wednesday night.
He loves it, Mark, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's really taken to the commentary as well. Calls it as he sees it, which we love as a commentator.
Of course.
That's the goal. Jade Graham to lead things off for the Tigers. Bottom half of the 3rd inning.
Another young player for Seacombe.
9th batter in the order.
Starts a bit low, that one, doesn't it, for Steph? A few of them she's thrown today. Whether it's the wind's come up a bit.
That low lifter can be such a weapon in softball because the batter sees that it starts out of the zone and then it comes into the strike zone. And there was a low lifter there as it ended up just around belt high. And a great pitch from Tracinsky for yet another strikeout. Strikeout number 6. And that is 6 out of the first 9 batters of the game.
Tells you something.
Aggressively, Dunn gets after that one.
See what I mean about her? She's hit it with power and she nearly reached the fence in foul territory.
Well, she anticipated the rise ball.
Yep.
It was high and probably out of the zone, but she had her hands up there ready to go.
So experienced, Jenny. So experienced. And her sister's playing baseball in the women's baseball, which I've been watching on Friday evenings, Jackie, and she's known as a gold medal.
Commonwealth Games gold medalist.
Games,
gymnastics.
Medalist in gymnastics, but she had a monstrous hit the other night. Last night, actually. Seems like a week ago. And, she's not a softballer, but she's certainly getting into the baseball.
She probably made a name for herself as a softball team manager. Went away with a couple of the Aussie Spirit teams. Dunn fouls this one off.
And chair of the previous state teams committee.
They're a part of a decade as well. Great service to the sport. Not bad for someone who's just come to the sport because her sister probably involved.
Yep,
and
that's how you get there, don't you? So full credit to her.
Worked out of the softball SA office for a couple of years as well.
Mm-hmm.
Dunn continues to swing away on Tracinsky.
I remember when Katie Sutherland Finch was the Port pitcher a couple of seasons ago. This is one person that could hit her. Initially was Jenny.
I think in the first 9 games she played, Port had 9 wins for 9 runs against.
Yep.
Just meets the ball, but good pick up from Schultz.
Very good.
Going to her forehand side, they're tough to take because as you move laterally, sometimes you can take your eye off the ball to watch where you're going. But Schultz got her glove down, and it was a good piece of the ball from Dunn. She gave herself every opportunity to get safe, and here's a good angle from the leading team's replay.
Well, she can run, Jenny Dunn, so Karen knew she had to get rid of it quick as she could once fielded.
Penglaze, for her second time, swing and a miss. Bottom of the third, and these two teams still feeling each other out a little bit because no one's really made their move just yet. Both teams have had runners on base. Both pitches have been quite dominant. This one, don't turn your back on that one. That could spin back into play.
It's still spinning. Yeah.
What's going to be the difference here, Lee? Both teams batting quite aggressively.
Something's got to give soon. Jones.
Strikeout number 7 for Tracinsky in 3 innings of work. After 3 complete, it's 0-0. And you're watching Spacequake Sports. Well, we are here for Breast Cancer Awareness Round. There you go, Strikeout Breast Cancer. There's a bit of a legend on screen there. That was Rick Mead. A couple of the Sturt players in the crowd watching on. Lee, I was fortunate enough to be on community radio during the week, Wednesday night. Northern Sports Stars featuring Commonwealth Games gold medalist Sean Carlin and some other guy, Robert Laidlaw, his name is. Actually, Robert Laidlaw is a great man. He does all our news articles. You can see the write-ups in the Saturday Advertiser and also on Facebook on Our Sporting Life SA and all things baseball and softball.
Sean.
Play ball, all things baseball and softball. That foul ball has hit Tracinsky in the face. He's fouled it off. She shakes it off. She's up.
Yeah.
Tough player, Steph Tracinsky. She would have been an initial shock. We saw Kelsey Nucky, who's on deck. That's happened to her twice.
Wearing a grill on her helmet now, Kelsey. She's in the on-deck circle. She would have had flashbacks then, I would have thought. So when you saw Sean Harlan, he hasn't got any shorter, has he? Big man, isn't he?
Sean Carlin, massive.
Sean Carlin,
no,
yeah.
It was all done online.
Oh, sorry.
And it's a great little show. They speak all things sports, but they highlighted softball this week. Spoke about the state championships. There's Kelsey Nucky on screen. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. That helmet has saved her. Yeah. I remember when I first started, Lee, helmets weren't compulsory.
No.
And there's an iconic photo of Linda Martin up around the club rooms. Here, she's having a turn at bat, and if anyone saw it now, they would have thought that she was just doing a promo shoot or maybe batting practice. But it was in the middle of a game, no helmets, but great coverage from Spacequake Sports to show us a couple of different angles. I'm sure Steph Tracinsky won't look forward to watching that one back, but she's still in there digging deep in the batter's box. A couple of foul balls now.
She's just contemplating, isn't she? Just thinking to herself, talking to catcher Jess Maslin.
Mm-hmm. It was a great little reaction from Maslin as well. Concerned for the batter immediately. It was in slow motion. She was up straight away.
Her knees just buckled on the replay, didn't they, Steph? Just down she went.
Well, gets a better piece of this one, but slightly under it. Giving Penglace a little bit of hard work as she looks straight up into the sun to complete that catch. A good catch. They're tough to take at this time slot, Lee. We've seen a few times on Premier League action, right side of the diamond having trouble with the sun.
And the wind is sort of fluky at the moment. So it's here 1 minute, gone the next.
Well, here is Kelsey Nucky. We're just speaking of her. And first pitch, gets it down the line.
Beautiful shot.
Gets past Dunn at left field and hits the softball SA sign. She will stroll into second. A stand-up double for the Eagles. Is this what they were after as we have a look at the leading team's replay? Great turn at bat from Nucky.
That's her strength, pulling it down the left field line. She hits it with power. Well, they got a bunt here, Jane, surely.
Just kept going and going. Mary Fuss is the hitter.
I'll be bunting here to first base. Araha standing well back.
Well, absolutely, she's got a job to do here, hasn't she, to advance the runner.
And just put Kelsey on the third.
Ground ball to shortstop. It was a slow roller. She beats it out. Nucky goes on the throw. Ooh. Slides under the tag. Some good action here. Premier League softball. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay. Fuss pulls the ball to the left side. Mitzi makes a good play, but not in time. And Nucky took off on the throw. Slides in safely. This is a better angle. Good calls from the two umpires making the calls there. Lawrence on the one from the infield single for Mitzi, and then Wallace Yarrow over at third as Nucky got under the tag. The throw over was probably just a little bit higher. If it was down at the knees, it probably would have had her. So 2 back-to-back hits for the Eagles, have runners at the corners. And Carly Allen, who got a hit in her first turn up at bat.
Jade needs to keep the ball down here, not up, because a deep fly will score this run here.
Allen with her second hit of the game. Dunn gets over there quick, smart to reduce the damage. But Nucky will cross the plate. So 2 hits in the game for Carly Allen. There's Kelsey Nucky. She hit the double. Let's look at the leading team's replay, and we'll see the RBI from Carly Allen. You said it, Lee. You said keep it down. And that one was up around the letters. And she pulled it to the left side, and Nucky scores.
It's the same here with Jackie Bill batting here, left-handed. Jenny Dunn needs to come in near the dirt by the line, because if she goes in the air, it'll be just landing about there. Well, see how close we are. There's 2 on.
3 consecutive hits for the Eagles. Bill showed bunt the first one and fouled it off. Lee, you're right on it again. MC Sportswear special comments from Lee Hull.
Jenny's far too deep there for this girl batting. A repeat of earlier message.
Absolutely threads the needle just out of reach from Havis. It was Mitzi who couldn't get it on the backhand, and any further to the left, it would have been to the third base. Any further to the right, and it would have been to the shortstop. Both only just missing it. Advancing runners all the way around. We've got loaded bases. There's 1 out. We're back to the top of the order. 4 consecutive hits for the Eagles.
Oh, danger, isn't it? It's danger time. Red flag here.
Third time around in the order. Gets under this one. It's in foul territory, and Avis had a good effort, and probably fortunate for Harris, the hitter, as it landed in between the shortstop, the third base, and the left field. Any further, it would have been an outfield catch. Any shorter in, probably an infield catch. But
couldn't have picked them out better. Could have. Just out of reach, just nibbling away out there.
Deep breath from Harris, and she closes a little bit just for that little bit of extra focus on the ball. That one's high and outside, so good pitching again. from Peterson. Change of pace this time, and Harris fouls that one off. Peterson ahead of the count again, just where she likes to be, and she really needs to tighten up a little bit because
they've got to sit
4 hits in a
Geordie
row,
out.
but they also need to take every opportunity for an out.
They've got to sit Geordie out here. Because that'll happen.
Up the middle, a second run for the inning. 5 consecutive hits for West Torrens. Still loaded bases, so 5 hits in a row. And that was the first one to centre field. All other hits in this game for West Torrens to left side.
I'll be changing the pitcher now. I know Jade's a quality pitcher, but you've just announced how many hits in the row. Just change the situation, or bring your outfielders in. They're going back further now.
Pop-up infield fly will be called. Don't think Sophie will catch it, so the runner probably wisely didn't make a move. So infield fly for Kaiser. She goes across to third base for the catcher speed-up rule.
Leanne, number 15, is coming on.
Fly to second base for the second out. And that stops the string of 5 consecutive hits. Lee, no timeouts called from Seacombe. That's where they need a leader from the infield, just to settle everything down a little bit.
Yep.
Slow the pace of the game down, break the momentum.
Bring the centre field and right field in for Faith and see if you can buy an out here.
Well, Picard watches that first one through for a called strike. It's still loaded bases, there's 2 out. I remember Dave Gawley being more of a hands-on coach when he was at West Torrens making those timeouts, talking to his field.
Yep.
Is it a change in his coaching methods?
Maybe. I think I would have been, well, personally, I would have been out well before now.
Picard goes opposite field to the right
Repeat
side.
of earlier message.
Will drop in. Jackie Beale turns third to score. So Kaiser from third, Beale from second. 2 runs cross the plate for Picard. 6th hit of the inning. Harris over at third, and it's all happening for the Eagles here in the top of the 4th.
What did I say about the right field and centre field before that batter batted? Bring them in. Would have caught that had she been in. Close. Jade. Got to play the percentages in this sport, mate, at times.
Schultz goes first pitch. Pop up to third base for the third out. So a cheap out for the third out, and perhaps a more patient turn at bat from Schultz then, and she may have got a better pitch to go after, and that's her third pop-up fly ball for the game, and also the third time she's been the third out. So needs to get the ball on the deck for her team, but what a terrific inning for the West Torrens Eagles. 4 runs scored, 6 hits. It all started with the Kelsey Nucky double to the fence. And then it was bang, bang, bang. Fuss, Allen with an RBI single. Beale thread the needle. Harris with an RBI up the middle. And Faith Picard, a 2-run shot to right field.
Yeah, well, full credit to Kelsey to starting it all off, because she was struck out of the only previous turn at bat. And that's what you need, don't you? Just play the percentages at times.
The last 6 outs for West Torrens have all been fly balls.
Yep. Well, you buy them. It's what you and I call cheap outs. You can get some cheap outs.
Well,
just play the percentages.
It is the Tigers with the work cut out for them now. They were scoreless throughout the month of December, and now they're chasing 4 to tie it up.
And they're chasing Steph, who, when she's got a few runs up her sleeve, even one, is a different picture altogether. She will give you nothing now.
Well, this gives West Torrens either an opportunity to get Tracinsky some more innings, or gives her a chance to give her a rest.
Yep.
But we'll see how it pans out as Maslin goes first pitch. So keen to get her team back into the game. Aggressive turn it back from Maslin.
Yeah, but that's her, Jess, isn't it? She's always done that. She won't go down looking. And it's normally the case with catchers, isn't it, James? You're a catcher. You like going after the pitch if it's there.
Yeah, caught my first game since October last night in the NAMSA competition.
Okay. What's happened? You injured?
Yeah, I was out with a back injury for a little bit of November. Wasn't helped from the COVID circuit breaker, but
no.
We're back now.
Back. Emphasis on the back.
That's it. Jess Maslin. Terrific sportswoman, Jess Maslin, named in the state baseball team.
I saw her last night. Just belts the ball, as you could imagine.
This one goes to shortstop and just jammed up a little.
Geordie would love that, wouldn't it? How easy is that?
Yeah, when you have a pitcher of the calibre of Tracinsky, the field can sometimes be a long time between plays.
Yep.
So it's always important when the ball comes to you that you complete the play, and she's able to get a glove to it this time around. Whereas last time, same batter got it on the deck and she had to charge it, slow roller. She left it behind. So she'll be able to take a bit of a breath and settle in. She'll get another play here. Oh, Tracinsky, exceptional.
Throws from the knees.
Well, she's, we keep saying it, Lee, the complete defensive player, isn't she? Because not only can she pitch, but she can play infield. She played outfield at the start of the season while she was still recovering with her right shoulder.
Took some good running catches out there too.
And it might go down in the scorebook as a 1-3. However, it was a terrific effort because it wasn't one that came straight back to her. She had to reach across to the backhand side. The momentum's all coming forward in that pitching follow through, and she had to stop that motion, move to the backhand side to complete that play. She knocked it down and as you said, made the throw from her knees.
How quick was her recovery? Real quick.
Havis.
Oh,
Love seeing that from a young player. Big aggressive swing. Using the Eastern Ghost.
tells you what it does. Apart from the ghost that talks, the bat, it's the pace that Tracinsky's got on the pitch. That helps, doesn't it? You time it, it'll go.
Great change of pace there from Tracinsky. It just died on the batter and she was trying to reach. And
Steph is saying to Becky, you know, you got one there that you put a motor on it. You won't be getting another one like that.
big swing and a miss for a strikeout and out number 3. So consecutive 1, 2, 3 innings for the Eagles, and just what they wanted after putting 4 big runs on the board in the top half of the 4th inning. And after 4, that is the lead. It is the Eagles over the Tigers, 4 runs to 0. Back for Breast Cancer Awareness Round, the 11th year. Those images you see are the Glenelg Rebels versus Walkerville Cats for the Swinstead Cup. There's Seacombe Tigers player and under-18s coach Tamika Penglace in her pink uniform. And there we are in our pink tops supporting the breast cancer awareness round. The 11th year the Premier League have supported the cause. Lee, there you are in your flamingo hat and your Hawaiian shirt. A couple of the spectators also supporting the cause, as the players are here, as we see Steph Tracinsky pop this one up to left field. A good catch taken by Jenny Dunn. Looked like she took her off it right at the last second there. So if she's watching back,
she hit it,
her on
Steph.
Yeah, powerful shot from Steph Tracinsky. Actually, she was the lead-off batter in the 4th when the Eagles put 4 runs on. She had a foul ball straight into the helmet. Fly ball for the first out. Off the first pitch, here's Jade Peterson.
It's been a change for the Tigers. It's Sophie Kinnear sits out, and in comes Ellie Georgiaris at second base.
Second base.
Yep.
She's got the pink shoelaces.
So that's got to be a song, isn't it? Something about pink shoelaces. There's a song about everything. Sorry? Tan shoes and pink shoelaces. Yeah. I tell you what, we're very knowledgeable here between us.
Jill Williams came up with that bit of
Well,
trivia.
she came up with half of it, I might add. Not all of it.
Floats in for a called strike on Kelsey Nucky, who got things going for the Eagles with a double her last turn at bat, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
She'll be wanting to get greedy here, Kelsey. Whoa, Jenny, it's Jenny again.
Goes out to left field, and Jenny Dunn again. Is she pulling, like, it looks like she's just pulling her head out right at the last moment of the catch. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay, and let's watch Dunn on the completion of the catch. She's done this 2 in a row.
Oh, yeah. Is it Sun?
Might be the Sun.
I reckon.
Let's give her the benefit of the doubt on the Sun. 2 outs, 2 fly balls to left field. Mary Fuss now up to bat, and we're speaking about pink. Well, Jade Peterson's got pink in the hair as well. Spacequake Sports as well with the pink score bug. There's Jade Peterson on screen. It's a great look, the pink uniform
Certainly
supporting
is.
a cause.
Yeah, it's a terrific cause, and we all get on board. I can't say I've got a lot of pink shirts in my wardrobe, but I have now, which I'm very proud of.
Great big cut from Fuss. Lee, we haven't officially announced it yet, but in 2 weeks' time there will be another themed round, so stay close to the website and the Facebook page, social media, for a very big announcement. A strikeout swinging to end the inning, a 1-2-3 inning for
Lovely
Seacombe Tigers.
Yep.
And just that 1 inning now might come back to haunt them. Yeah, it might be costly, because they really have been in this game the entire way, bar that 1 inning. I was just saying, a big announcement to come for Softball SA and Spacequake Sports and the Premier League. A live broadcast on SBS coming up in a couple of weeks' time, and it'll be the same weekend, Lee, that we head up to Anembo Park in Littlehampton, which is in the Adelaide Hills. The Hills Heat will play a home game.
That'll be fantastic against Port Adelaide, isn't it?
Against Port Adelaide.
Yep.
First time the Premier League has ventured out of West Beach, and that will be on Spacequake Sports also.
We were up there for their grand finals, weren't we, not last year, the year before. Seems a long time ago now.
Well, it's a Spacequake Sports doubleheader. Premier League game between the Hills Heat and Port Adelaide Magpies, but also a men's game as well in the Hills. They've got a proud men's softball tradition up in the Hills, and we'll see the Hahndorf Magpies play the Macclesfield Redbacks.
Are you involved? Are you playing?
I'll be there. I'll be there playing for Hahndorf, and we will see some great stars of the men's game involved. Jared Farrell's going to step in for me in commentary. We'll hear from Nick Green as well.
Yes, there's a couple of famous names there.
Back to the action, bottom of the 5th inning. Tracinsky pitching for West Torrens, and this is Sasha Mitzi up to bat for the Tigers. We're about an hour and 5 into the game, 90-minute time limit. And Lana Kaiser will take a catch there. She is solid as a rock at third base for the Eagles. Let's have a look at the leading team's replay, and good intent shown by Mitzi. Kaiser all over it for the first out. Jade Peterson right at the bottom of the zone, and it looked okay to me. For strike one.
The only person that's the best judge is right behind the plate, Brett Tyler, isn't he? Nothing controversial today. Game's just flowing along.
Yeah, it's been...
except for the 4 runs.
It's been a pretty good game of softball in great conditions on a day that we celebrate the awareness of breast cancer, and we'll see a strikeout swinging for Peterson. Well, she got one at the bottom of the zone, the first pitch. She got one at the top of the zone for the second one, and then she just had to cover up and chase in that last one. So a strikeout for Tracinsky. We'll get a tally in a moment for you. I think it's strikeout number 9.
9, correct.
Ellie Georgiaris for her first plate appearance for 2021.
Came across from Walkerville this year.
Don't have her on my stats sheet, so I'm not sure how much game time she's had, but great to see a young player getting an opportunity.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think back. I think I might have seen her come on to run once, but I may be wrong.
Big swing. I like that confident swing.
Yeah. And that's the trouble, though, when you come in against somebody that pitches the quick stuff like Steph, is you get into the trap of swinging hard as well. If you can make good contact like Becky Havers did with the foul ball, you can get the ball into play.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Tracinsky, number 10 for the game, a third 1-2-3 inning, and it looks like the Eagles are pretty confidently going about this. There doesn't seem to be too much fanfare out there. They've got good hustle in between innings as well, but the Tigers just aren't that far away. So, you know, if they could just pick up the, intensity a little bit, their intent is there. Just get a couple of balls into play, and, you know, they could be right back in it. But it's all on West Torrens' terms at the moment, don't you think?
Yep, it is. And it's very hard to pick 4 back against a side like West Torrens. Quality side like they are. You know, if it was 1 or 2-0, you'd say, yeah, let's go short, but you can't do that, chasing 4. Just a side thing, Jill Williams, who was the person on my left, our famous scorer, James, she got the Beach Boys started many years ago on their way, and she tells me the song is tan shoes and pink shoelaces, polka dot shirt, man oh man. Well, it was before my time.
Oh, I don't know about that, Lee. Carly Allen will lead things off. The Beach Boys, one of your favourites, Lee.
The favourites, although I've taken somebody to heart now, Lady Gaga. I heard her sing at Joe Biden's inauguration ceremony. I heard her sing the American National Anthem. I tell you, move over, Beach Boys. She was fantastic.
There you go. Lee Hull, Lady Gaga fan.
Well, I don't like the way she dresses or looks, but her voice is outstanding. And for me to say move over Beach Boys, James, means a lot.
Well, she's very talented. I reckon she's got a bunch of Grammys. She might even have an Academy Award in there somewhere as well, maybe. At least a nomination. Jade Peterson, DeCarly Allen, a couple of veterans of the competition that has so much young talent around. So it is good to see that, you know, for those that are watching from home, I don't think you reach your peak in softball until at least your early 30s. And it's a game that you can continue to play well into your later years.
The Masters is fantastic.
Allen will pop this one up, and Georgiaris moves across well to take a comfortable catch.
Quick on her feet, Ellie, isn't she?
Yeah, she was over in a flash,
Yep.
leading teams to replay. Actually, I thought this might have been going towards shortstop. And Georgiaris beat her middle infield counterpart to the ball to take the catch and make the first out of the 6th inning. Beal, first pitch, Havis. And in a foot race, Beal from the left-handed batter's box beats that one out for her second hit of the game, an infield single. Oh, gee, you've got to be ready for that when you're on the left side of the diamond with Jackie Beal up to bat. She was down halfway down the line. She still built it out.
Yeah, terrific play. And Becky was on it in the flash, but just couldn't get her out.
First pitch, pop up, left field, done under it to take a catch, didn't pull out of it that time. For the second out, another fly ball victim. And the second out of the 6th inning.
She's been in the action, Jenny, hasn't she? Quick on her feet. That's what gets her in a good position to take those catches and make them look simple at the end.
Lana Kaiser. High for a ball.
Well, I can't see Lana going long to right field. She will go pull or up the middle. It'll be a big shot.
That's the one that you want to sit on, the change-up, or you're moving a little closer to the plate and try and drive Peterson opposite field. But if she's going to try and pull the ball, she will remain as one of only 2 hitters from this Eagles lineup to not have a hit in this game.
Whoa.
Smashes it just to prove me wrong to the left side. Getting done in the play again. And Jackie Beal moves over to second base.
As I said, right field won't be in the play. It'll be a hard shot. It was.
10th hit of the season for Kaiser. And now there's 8 players from the Eagles team with a hit.
Well, they've got to shut them down here, don't they, the Tigers? 4 is a lot. 5, even more by 1 run.
Well, this has been an impressive battle between these two, Peterson and Picard, because Picard has watched every first pitch, but Peterson has grooved it every time. So obviously done their homework on each other, noting that Peterson is, well, known for her strikeouts, isn't she?
Yep.
She's just accumulates strikeouts all throughout the season. Started out on fire. I think she's got 5 for the game. Make it another. Make it 6. And sits down Picard to end the 6th inning.
That was interesting, Faith, letting that go. It looked to be just going to be a strike from the time it left Jade's hand then.
Well, we're flying through here. We're about 73 minutes into the game. And at the way that Tracinsky is going, making quick work of the Seacombe lineup, we could be going the distance here.
Could do. That'll be good.
Good hustle from the West Torrens Eagles yet again out on the diamond.
When you're leading by 4 and you've got a pitcher like Steph, it's very easy to get enthusiastic, isn't it?
Absolutely. 4 in the 4th inning for the Eagles, and then blanked in the next 2 as I just update my scorecard, Lee, and as I turn the page I can see that it's Seacombe that yet to trouble the scorers. They've only had 2 base runners. One from a base on balls that was advanced to second on a sacrifice bunt, and another that got on from an error in the infield. Their number 9 hitter, Jade Graham, will lead off the bottom half of the 6th inning. Straight back to her work, Steph Tracinsky, and she's really made it a craft, hasn't she? She's a dominant force, great to watch in full flight.
One of the things I love about Steph is her attitude doesn't change. Doesn't matter the situation, doesn't matter how many people are on base, her attitude, her body language is just about perfect. Because some pitchers, they tend to give it away a bit, don't they? They just, keep looking around at people on base. Can't do anything about them, just concentrate on the batter.
3-pitch strikeout for Tracinsky, and number 11.
11 it is.
Back to the top, Jenny Dunn.
I'm going to give her a safe hit here, Jenny. Over shortstop's head. Jordan Harris.
Down and away for ball 1, and I'm pretty pleased to see that she didn't swing at that one. The first batter had a 3-pitch strikeout. You don't want to just continue that ball roll, and you've got to break up the rhythm of the pitcher. High and swinging, foul ball swinging. Lee, the rest of the competition, we will see Walkerville versus Port, Sturt versus Hills to round out the game.
Couple of good games.
Games today, yeah, a couple of good games. Where do you see it going? Is it a 2-horse race? Or is it going to be a blanket over the field yet again, like we saw in the first half of the year, where just 1 point separates second from 5th, which is the difference between a double chance come finals and not making it at all?
It tells its own story. The stats you've just spoken about, it's a tight go. Anybody on their day. If we look at the pitchers situation, we have West Torrens with Tracinsky, we talked about her. We have Port Adelaide with Jade Graham, we talked about how good she is. Then we've got Walkerville, they split that up between Riley Moore and Sally.
Between youth and experience.
Yeah, that's right. And then we've got Hills, we've got Georgia, mainly Georgia Wood.
Yeah.
So there's quality. It's a toss-up, but just keep looking at Steph. How are you going to get runs against her is the thing. Look at that.
Like that, Jenny.
That's deep.
Done on a full count.
Ooh.
Hit the foul fence, and then it hit the back fence. So pretty well hit shot. She just needs to straighten it up a little bit. But, yeah, good turn at bat so far from Dunn.
I've got to hit one over Geordie's head for a safe hit. And that was deep, wasn't it? Deeper than your pockets.
The new addition to the home run fence. Some new signage there. The black screen in foul territory as well. Place looks amazing. Kaiser.
Oh, Nelly
takes a hard shot.
Well.
And although the out was made, it was a sharp chance that she took on the backhand side along the foul line, threw it across to first base, and off one bounce, Kelsey Nucky takes it for the second out.
Great glove work by Kelsey over the years, isn't it? She picks up those sort of things. Anything thrown in the dirt, up high, she gets them.
Well, she's been a consistent Team of the Year player at first base over the last few years, and is it 4, is it, Lee?
4 or 5, isn't it? I think it's a few. Well, other people rate her apart from us two.
Well, that is voted by the coaches, so the opposition coaches obviously rate her as well, and she's another one of the West Torrens players batting over 300 for the season, just a constant contributor, and we saw her get the ball rolling today with that massive double to left field. Was the first run to cross the plate in the game. She's just come up with a good play then.
Yep.
Penglace with 2 out, and she's behind the count 0-2 now. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That's all you need to get behind the count, isn't it, against Steph?
And with about 11 minutes of game time left to go, you imagine that will go into a 7th. With no new innings with less than 5 minutes to go.
Yep. Evens up the count, 2-2. The chance here, Sasha, but I'm swinging at this next pitch because I've got a feeling it's going to be close.
Strikeout number 12 for Tracinsky to end the 6th inning, and we will go into a 7th. The rate of knots that this game is going, I'm sure it won't be long before the game is over, but it's all ahead of Seacombe Tigers as we go into the last inning. They trail the West Torrens Eagles 4 runs to 0. Well, as we are back with the Premier League softball action, top of the 7th inning, Jade Peterson hasn't been too bad for the Tigers.
Just the one innings.
Just the one costly innings where they gave up 6 hits and 4 runs. And I can't see an error on the sheet in that inning either. So it was the power of the Eagles' batting order and warning shots early in 2021 to the rest of the competition. Schultz, the lone Eagles hitter without a hit, patiently watches that first one. She needs to get this one on the deck. High, but at the top of the zone for a called strike. It floated in there on the change of pace from Peterson. She's shown a full bag of tricks today, hasn't she, Lee?
She has.
Gets under this one. Left fielder Dunn has been in the action every single inning and completes the catch for the first out. Well, West Torrens have got a couple of players to come back in, haven't they? They've got Marchenk and they've got Hoyle to come back into the lineup. A couple of the young players as well, still vying for spots. What's the best West Torrens lineup for you? Like, I'm talking middle of the order here with Schultz with 4 pop-ups in this game. You've got Tracinsky, who's just shown to be such a powerhouse with the bat this year, and we know Sophie Hoyle's been one of the greats of our game over the last decade.
They've got a lot of riches, haven't they? A lot of riches. It's going to be hard. Some couple of good players are going to miss out, I think, because Carly Allen's showed more today with the bat.
Yep.
She's a good catcher.
Tracinsky gets a good piece of this one. It's going to drop in short of centre field. Probably showing a little bit too much respect for the hitter. She was deep, so she wasn't a chance to take that catch. So a second hit of the game for Tracinsky to go along, Lee, with 12 strikeouts.
A reasonable day's work. Jenny Dunn's taken 4 catches out there today.
She's done a lot of fielding, though, as well.
Yep.
There's been a lot of hits go through high for a ball on Nucky.
Well, I'd throw outside to Kelsey, make a hit opposite field. Like that.
Pop up to Georgiaris, spills the catch, but keeps her calm and plays the lead runner. So effectively, no different there. Do you call that a fielder's choice?
Yep.
Fielder's choice for Georgiaris.
Started off as a muff fly.
4-6 for the second out. Nucky, the runner on first base. You hate it when that happens as a hitter.
Yeah.
Firstly, you're disappointed at a pop-up, but then you feel bad that you've run out your...
you run out your teammate.
Base, run out your teammate. Fuss for her 4th turn at bat. Has an infield single and a couple of strikeouts. So looking to settle herself here and keep this 7th inning going. For the Eagles, we see another pop up, this one into foul territory. It's a full scorecard, isn't it? We're the 4th time round. We're at the 7th hitter. We're in the 7th inning. Another foul ball. 6 strikeouts for Peterson and has left it to her field to help contribute. A lot of catches.
Yep.
A lot of fly balls.
A lot of deep balls.
Fouls this one to stay alive in the count. So what about Seacombe? Let's talk about Seacombe then. We spoke about the finals and the race for anywhere from 2nd on the ladder to 5th. Now for Seacombe, they are pretty far behind the pack. Do they continue to give the opportunity to the young players to blood them for next season? Oh, shot from Fuss. This one was inside out. Fielded by the centre fielder, but it was more right side. Naki advances to 2nd.
That was a great piece of the ball, wasn't it?
Great shot.
Mary. Yep.
For her 2nd hit of the game, so she's been a good contributor. So we're just saying, Seacombe, what would you be doing if this team was in your hands?
Well, I think you have to do just exactly what David's doing. Give the young ones on, get them on, give them game time. They'll get better. They'll get better with the experience.
Oh, smashed it.
Ooh.
Havis.
As I said, Carly's hitting the ball really well today.
Reflex catch to deny the Eagles in the 7th inning. So although the scoreboard looks somewhat out of reach for Seacombe at the moment, let's have a look at the leading team's replay. A sharp chance from Havis. Great catch. Good reflex action there at 3rd base. And Lee, you called it. Allen seeing the ball so well. She'd already had 2 hits on the day. A line drive to 3rd base for the 3rd out.
That is a big plus for your catcher getting those hits today. That's great. Like you mentioned about gives Faith the opportunity to play anywhere, and Faith can. She's what I'd say is a utility. Could play on many positions.
Lee, this is the bottom of the 7th, and we can see a pitching change for West Torrens. It'll be Taylor Mead to close it out, and she'll get this opportunity that she's earned throughout the first half of the season. Lee, she shouldered the load for the Eagles. 3 wins in the season. She found it harder in the first 4 games of the year, but she just bounced back and she's taken it in her stride. She has a terrific field behind her, and I think that's the lesson that she learned early, is that she doesn't have to do it all herself. If she can pitch good spots.
Yep.
She's not going
to blow them away. She's aware of that, but her attitude never changes, so full credit to her. She's stuck to her guns, and of course Steph's come back, so so she gets to shut out the game here. Batters 3, 4, and 5 it is. Jess Meslin, Araha Munro, and Becky Havis. Gee, that was going, wasn't it, from Carly Allen? That shot to Becky.
Hey, to be fair, we said that Jade Peterson's got the pink hair today. I think Carly Allen's got the pink hair as well. The catcher, it's hidden behind her helmet when she bats, in the mask when she's fielding. And we can see that's Taylor Mead. She might have some extensions in there. Oh, Maslin gets a great piece of this one over the head of left fielder Mary Fuss, and she'll stand up at 2nd base. Good relay from the Eagles to cut it down to 2. Good start to the 7th inning for the Tigers. Well, Lee.
Jess comes in the bat and says to Taylor, welcome.
Leading teams replay. There it is, Maslin. Great shot. She's got a powerful swing, hasn't she?
Yep,
And
yep.
a great piece of the ball, one bouncing into the fence at 230 feet. Timeout called. We've seen a runner come in. That's Jazz Blight on second base to run for Maslin. So bring on the young, speedy legs. And we can see Araha Munro is the hitter in the box for the Tigers. Well, Lee, is this their chance to get on the board?
It is, and Araha, knowing her batting, she's probably going to go over the top of Kara Schultz at second base for a base hit. It's a big call, Lee. Hope you're half right.
Well, we're probably too deep in the game to be looking at bunts as they're down to their last 3 outs to score 4 to tie it up. And gee, wouldn't it be something to take 5 and to score 5 and take the win out of nowhere?
I've got a feeling Steph may come back before that happens.
Well, getting a bit of ahead of ourselves at the moment with just the one batter so far in the inning, but stranger things have happened in this game.
Of course, And that's what makes it appealing. You never know what's going to happen.
And 4 runs to play with as well here, West Torrens. So they don't have to panic. A pop up to the right side. Kara Schultz takes her eye off it. And an infield single to Munro. Well, we see it time and time again. The right side of the diamond here at West Beach at the 2 o'clock time slot. You've got to get your hand straight up and block the sun. Munro aboard. So 2 batters, 2 hits.
Well, I did mention that I thought Araha had hit the ball over Kara's head. Well, she didn't. She didn't get it that far. Half wrong, I think. Just a little bit. Still a safe hit over second base.
Leading teams replay. We've seen a couple of angles, and Munro was disappointed with herself, but she did leg it out. And it's the ball dropping at least 2 metres in front of Schultz. Now runners at 1 and 2 for the Tigers. And, well, Becky Havis took a sharp chance at third base in the last inning, so the adrenaline's probably still pumping at the moment. So if she can get a nice piece of this one, speedy runner from second should score.
What about a double steal here, James? It's just something the Eagles wouldn't be expecting.
I'm not going on Carly Allen's arm.
Jazz Blight's quick.
Good pick up from Allen.
She's had a good game, Carly, hasn't she?
Yeah, a couple of hits, an RBI.
Caught well.
Has called well.
Yep.
Left side.
Oh, look at that. Teamwork.
That is terrific play from the Eagles defense. Kaiser, it was a tough chance. She got a little bit of glove on it. She probably thought it was in the gap, but then it was Harris on the backhand side that collected it. Let's look at the leading team's replay. Bang, crunched it. One bounce, tipped the glove. Lambert on the backhand side will toss it back over to third base for the fielder's choice.
Yep.
What would you call that? Would you call that a 5 to 6 to 5?
That's what I put it down as.
Great defense. And the lead runner is out. Munro, the runner on second, Havis on first.
Well, the bits, I mean, those ricochets off people's gloves, you see it a lot with pitches, doesn't it? It either goes directly to another player for an out or it goes in the gap.
And sometimes it depends on your luck on the day as well. Sometimes things don't go your way, and it hasn't been the Tigers' day today as it went in the favour of the Eagles this time around. Well, can we see it again? Lead runner, fielder's choice, once again to Lana Kaiser. So 2 fielder's choices in a row. And the 2 players that have had hits in this inning are the first 2 outs.
Yep.
Running bases.
Bit unfortunate, isn't it? You'd like to be the 1 run, if you get it 1 run.
Well, it's Jade Peterson, the batter in the box. There is 2 out. The Tigers are down to their last out, and it's been a great comeback from Mead, who gave up 2 hits from her first 2 batters. Well, the second one hard against her to call it a hit. Change of pace for a strike swinging. And that strong side, left side for the Eagles just stands up, leading the team. 2 outs. And now it's resting on Peterson, who has pitched a beauty today.
She wants to land one out there, James, doesn't she, on the green stuff, the grass?
Well, you got your double steal, Lee. It looked almost like a hit and run as Peterson swung hard at that one that almost bounced before it got to her. And the 2 runners are now in scoring position. First base is open.
Just land it somewhere on the green.
2-2 count. Swing, foul, stays in the count, more importantly.
Yep. Thing you can't do here now, James, is go down looking. I think that's probably one of Coach's favourite pet hates or dislikes.
That one just goes foul, so Peterson stays alive. Flirting with danger there at third base, aren't you?
Yep, staying alive. Another song, isn't it, Jill? Oh, that one.
2-2 count, 2 out. That one bounces before the catcher, so she's got to complete the throw, and it will be a 2-3 strikeout on Peterson for the final out of the game. And although they threatened the Tigers, and for 6 out of the 7 innings, they were right up with the Eagles. It was the Eagles too dominant there in the 4th inning. They put 4 on the board. I'm just completing that. It is 4-0 to the West Torrens Eagles. So they'll win the first game of 2021. Lee, it was a terrific matchup because they were going toe-to-toe, weren't they, for the majority of that game? And it was that one decisive inning, wasn't it, with 6 hits and 4 runs, Lee. It was Kelsey Nucky that led that inning off with a double, was the first across the plate on the Carly Allen single. Jackie Beale thread the needle, Jordan Harris an RBI single up the middle, Faith Picard 2 RBI single to right field in that inning. Hard to go past Tracinsky though. Dozen strikeouts in 6 innings. 2 hits.
And she's batting as well. No, complete game, I think, James. But like you mentioned, the 4 runs in 1 innings in innings number 4, and then 3 0 innings, eggs, as we call them, either side of the 4. So it was just 1 innings, I think. So credit to Seacombe as well. But West Torrens, we've talked about this for years now, that you cannot keep a side like this down all the time, especially with the batting.
Absolutely. All right, well, let's have a look at the MC Sportswear player of the game. Steph Tracinsky, 12 strikeouts and 2 hits. Couple of honourable mentions to Kelsey Nucky with that double in the 4th inning and the first run across the plate. Faith Picard, a couple of RBIs as well. And then you look at batters 7, 8, 9 that had 6 hits between them, Fuss, Allen and Beale. So great all-round performance there from the West Torrens Eagles.
Certainly was, and it was nice to see Carly Allen. It was terrific catching today, and her hitting was more like Carly's, which I mentioned about Monica Perry, because she set the standard here, Monica Perry, the American. I tell you what, she was some sort of a pitcher, and if you can hit her in the grand final, then you can play.
Well, I just want to thank all our broadcast partners, Leading Teams MC Sportswear and Spacequake Sports. Thank you for watching on Breast Cancer Awareness Round, a great cause, and if you want to donate, you can check out the Adelaide Club Competition Facebook page or head straight to the McGrath Foundation website. So very good cause, and thanks to everyone who's been involved today. And that will wrap it up for the first Premier League game back for 2021. We will see you again Wednesday night. And today the result was the West Torrens Eagles 4 runs to 0 over the Seacombe Tigers. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.